Cages.
Did we make it? I mean, of course, we made it. Of course, we made it. Because I'm always on time. Don't be hating. Because I be out here outdating. Yes, and oh, far we can go far. Yes. Okay, all right. I couldn't think of a rhyme quick enough. You gotta be really, skilled at this whole freestyle thing. What's going on, everybody? It is time to discuss blurred stuff in the blurred space. As you all know, it is the weekend, and on the weekends it's time for Blurred Church. Hallelujah, amen. And we do have a whole lot going on. As you all know, just recently released was the one and the only Little Mermaid, the live action whatnot with sorry Halle Bailey, and we'll discuss whether or not we think it's going to do well at the box office or if the trolls are going to win on this one. And we got a whole lot of other things to discuss. Also, in addition to this, Miles Morales finally is going to be hitting theaters next week, so we will finally get to see Mr. Miles back in the mainstream public. Which is something that I think we all been waiting for. Let's keep it real, man. This is one of the best things that Sony's Marvel verse has going for it. And there's a whole lot of other things to discuss. But in all honesty, guys, today gonna be just a lighthearted day. We just gonna talk, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we people out here. You know what I'm saying? We got stuff that we be dealing with. And sometimes we don't really get a chance to talk about all of it. So let's go ahead and rip into our own lives as well as yours. So pull on up, pull a seat up. If you ain't already click like, comment, share, whatever, do whatever it is you got to, because we're here for you. We not only have the homie Omar, but Tiffy on the way. So let's have a good day. Let us go ahead and start off with none other than the one and only Miss Yvette. Tell us what it do.
I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Let me get all this 10p Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old game. Ain't shit changed except mine got a name. Got it out the mud, but we got no stains. Cold ass ninja with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga stay clean, so he always got hoes. Light skinny bitches like.
I love the new blurred order. You should too.
So nice we had to say it twice. You know that's how we do, man. What's popping, everybody? Hope all is well in your side or your neck of the woods. We're going to go ahead and kick things off live, and I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, man. It's a lot going on, man, but not only in the blurred sphere, not only in our own each and everybody's personal spaces, man, we also got lives to talk about, man. So let's go ahead and discuss things as we do on the daily. I am obviously your boy, the real Vince Taylor. Shout out to me back in the Spiderman cave. You already know how we do. What's going on? And we are joined today by none other than Yazzie. Yay! We got Bad Tie. Yay! And we also have a couple special guests today, y'all. None other than the one who created the Black Nerd Problem, along with Will and a bunch of other folks, you know what I'm saying? Let's give this man his due. The author, co-author, that is, of Black Nerd Problems, our boy in the house, Mr. Omar Holman, the Black Cyclops. What's going on, boy?
I love Scott Summers so much. I love that man.
You think? I don't know what gave it away. All of your posts. I don't know. But also, in addition to this, we've got a special guest as well alongside who has crept up along us. She is here to rep all things blurty and never shy to say what's on her mind. Say hello to the lovely Tiffy Starchild. Hey, Tiffy! Yay! How art thou? Now, if I could just speak candidly, let's just keep it 100. Late night last night, huh?
Yeah.
Omar, Sailor Bowman.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about it, man. What happened? All right, so for those of y'all that don't know, Omar, I hope you don't mind me saying, but Omar and his other half facilitate a night, which we believe is a very cool night up in the New York area, that's Sailor Boom themed. And I think it may have kept you up a little bit last night.
Yeah,
Omar, is that right?
It's my wife DJ Dimple and her partner hijinks, Glenn. I'll say your goddamn names. They threw this together. It's been about 4 years now. They've been doing the party, and so it's just 4 years they've been throwing the party, organizing it. I'm just in the back with the camera, like, all right, what's gonna don't mind me. Like, why do people twerk off? I'm like standing there, people dancing, twerking off. Like, don't mind. I'm with them. This is it's going on. It'll be here. It'll be on the. It'll be on Instagram. But yeah, this is their first one back. Is this their first one back for the summer? I want to say the last one was in. Or am I wrong? It was the last one in February.
It was in February.
Okay, all right. So, so the second one of the year. Tiffany's been there. She fucking knows what it is. But yeah, they do a bunch. It's like a hip hop cosplay party in Brooklyn. It's the only one I'm aware of and know about. And it's been like 4 years of them doing it. Sailor Moon. Though they had it Sailor Moon themed, but like it's also you can come wearing whatever you want. You can also just be there. Engaged, man, and they're really great DJs. And there's also the twerk competition, and they always have. It's always been a woman to host, and their flyers, which are really cool, is the flyer will either be like from a black movie or a hip hop album, and it's always the host's choice on what they want. So they'll Tiffany had Baps. And so they're like, all right, then they find an artist, and they'll always use the Sailor Moon or the Sailor Scouts as somewhat like an interpretation or homage to that movie or album. The most recent one was Gravity. She was the host last night. So she's like, okay, TLC. So they had the Sailor Scouts, like the Crazy Sexy Cool, 3 of the Scouts, just like that. And so it's been like their artwork, like they have one with Cardi B where it's Sailor Mercury sitting like Cardi B in her album. They did Set It Off, and it's all the Sailor Scouts that's probably my favorite part of them, seeing like the interpretations of that. So they got like 4 years of those flyers. And yeah, it is a great time. I knew she'd be knocked out. I told Tasha, well, you want to come in and talk about this? She's like, yeah, too. I'm like, I bet she is knocked out right now. I'm like, sure, I'll join. I'm like, all right, I'm like, you're up.
Yeah. Now I ain't gonna lie. Now hearing that it has a twerk contest has got me even more clued. I may have to come on up there and enter that contest. Because I don't know if anybody can mess with me. I mean, I do a wild straight man twerk. Like y'all don't. It's
they're there.
Hey, look. Now stop, Ty. Don't
tell you about it last night. I'll tell you about it yesterday because the twerk competition. I'm not mad, but I'm like sometimes the people that maybe we don't start with the strong ones. We just we Hunger Games it. Well, I'm like because last night I was with Fred Jordan. We were like the whole east side is repping it. I don't know what they're doing over there on the left side, but the strong side is right here. And they started off on the strong side. I was like, damn, move it down to the left. I was like, nah, man, go. We know where the weak links are. And the dude got out, and I was like, that man should not be out. That man was he had a speaker over his head too.
Oh,
and
that was crazy. We were definitely disappointed in the chat when that happened because I wasn't at Sailor Moon. I'm here in California, but she live streams it, DJ Dimple. So we're in the chat hyping people, although we got a different show because we can't see the asses, obviously. But one girl had a low cut top. We thought there was a difference.
Yep.
We want to be honest. We were all very happy online.
Oh yeah! Oh,
it was great. Yes, because we got the view from the DJ booth, so we didn't see booty shaking. We saw front shaking.
Yeah.
Hold on. Where is this link?
It's
DJ Dimple _BK.
Okay.
Because she streams. Yeah, she live streams it. So I like being there in person for Sailor Boom, but if I'm not, I am online in the chat going off, we're dancing in my room, pretending like I'm there. I don't have no excuse for the late night. I was in my room.
A fun thing about the party as well is I remember I was when I first started, maybe it was like this is year like 2 or 3. There's one dude like with braids, and he was standing there just like looking straight, just dead staring at Tasha and Glenn, and my man was just focused. And then I'm recording him, and but actually I was recording the party, so he's standing there, and then he looks to his right and he sees those two women like grinding on each other. Then he looks at me in the camera and then he just steps out the way. I lost it. And then I go up to him afterwards. So I go up to show him the foot. He's like, oh, but he was like, I was just so enamored by their DJing. I want to learn how to do that. And he's like, oh my God, their mixing was so great. So I was like, I'm like, you're just an all around great guy, a fucking Archie, man. And there's never been an incident, which I like. It's just like a great vibe. There's never been like an incident or anything there. The only incident that ever happened was there was a woman twerking. She was in a Wakanda, or she was a Dora Milaje, right? And there was a dude behind her, throws her jets up, smacks her ass, and then throws it back down. And then Tasha comes. Tasha not that tall, but she runs up from the stage like, "Yo, we don't be doing that shit." And she's in this dude's face like, "No, we don't be doing it." And he's like, "Whoa!" He goes, you see him, his hands up. He goes, "Whoa!" And then she goes, "Oh no, that's my boyfriend." They go, oh, they're like, "Oh shit!" Then afterwards, they're like, actually, they thanked her because like, "Oh, thank you," because let's say something like that. If that wasn't the case, you would want someone that, you know what I mean. So like, that was the only incident that wasn't even an incident. That was hilarious. And so she comes. Tasha was the first one that beeline it. So I come up on the side like, "Oh, this might go left. Let me just." Oh no, it's actually front. Well, let me get my camera back out because goddamn, they stuck in that back here. Oh, and here she is.
I can see Omar like getting his visor ready to like spout off his Scott Summers powers.
You want to come in and talk about your party?
Hi.
Hey, what's up, his special guest? What's up, DJ Dimple? Oh, she can't hear.
Yeah,
down that way.
She can't hear anything right now.
Let me do that again. Hold on. I said, hey, what's up, it's DJ Dimple?
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I drank so much yesterday.
It's okay. It's okay. Honestly, we didn't even know if you was going to be pulling up or not. So the fact that you even here is a big deal. And I'm going to keep it 100. When I saw the flyer, I was like, oh, yeah, Omar ain't going to be here.
Omar's a very committed man.
I said, I'm there, man.
Exactly.
But yeah, he just gave us your rendition that you actually played the role of Save 'em. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody he was telling us that somebody at one point in time, one of the only incidents that have happened at this event. First of all, it's a pleasure to meet you and to make your acquaintance and to see the better half of Omar. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? And thanks for letting us borrow him every now and then.
At this point, you're kind of the better half of Omar because he wakes up sprightly on a Saturday morning. Not a lot of people can do that.
Hey,
sprightly is I like how you use the word sprightly. I don't know.
Sprightly, that was nice.
the McDonald's Sprite, if it's like that.
A jump out of bed. Time to go. Time to do this.
We'll take it though. But yeah, man. So just as formal introductions. Thank you. First of all, real quick, shout out to everybody watching on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. If you're watching on anything, shout out to Comedy Hub, and all those who are broadcasting us. And we see you in the comments. Appreciate y'all being here. And big up to DJ Dimple for pulling up. He was just talking about last night's Sailor Boom, and it sounds like it was a success. I think our boy Tyrone was supposed to pull up. I don't know if he had a chance. I don't know if he was able to make it out. I know he can't make it today. But he was saying that it's pretty lit, and he was actually giving me permission to come on up and to take that money from the twerk contest. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a little something back here. It's a little donk.
What's the song showing? Yeah.
Let's see what you're doing.
Yeah. Now spin it around. Slowly. Slow it down.
Y'all don't know what y'all starting, man.
He's
Y'all
ready.
don't know what y'all starting.
Oh
man.
God, he's ready. We don't have any dollars. I am down. It's Saturday morning. We don't have a click button.
Let Doodle Brown come on.
Well, like as the DJs, we don't judge it, but Tiffy's hosted our party a couple of times, and judging the twerk comp is a hard job.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
I was like, start with the weak ones. So that man should not have gone home last night.
Every time we come home from a Sailor Boom, I get a whole dissertation from Omar about the twerk comp and what went right, what went wrong, what I wasn't seeing from behind the booth. But we live stream the parties, and so yesterday I made sure that for the stream when the twerk comp was happening that I did big camera action. I was like, no, you guys are gonna see all of this. we got the front view, the rest of the crowd gets the back view, so it's like VIP.
Yeah, Tiffy was just saying that, right? Tiffy,
and we thought there was a different winner, and I was gonna message you about this, Tosh, but I feel like there should be a chat vote. And there's a separate winner. I'll sponsor it. I don't care. They can have a little $50, but I guess because we were like,
Yo, hold on, man. Like, I might have to pause this right quick and go check out this footage, man, because I feel like I'm missing out. Like, it sounded like
I feel
was
like I am
lit.
too.
Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick.
And I was trying to pull up the flyers as Omar was talking about them. So I went to the Sailor Boom Instagram, which everyone should follow. And is there a post of just the flyers, not in a video form? It needs to be a carousel. That's a content note. But just of the flyers, because I was not able to pull any flyers just to send to Vince for him to put up on the screen.
Yeah, man. But you know what?
I'll do that. I'll make a post. That's a good point. I think I did it a while ago, and I haven't updated that yet.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it before, but I'm just like, I do not see
a highlight of all the flyers.
Right.
Well,
I think it's in the stories.
No, it needs to be on the page itself, just the images, and that way people can scroll through and see the different ones.
Yeah, the flyers were a great way for us to be able to like collaborate predominantly with BIPOC artists, and sometimes for hosts, like we do that for Tiffy as well. We'll be like, what is maybe like a classic movie cover that you like or an album cover that you like, and let's like Sailor Moon it up. But it's a really nice way. Sometimes I feel with flyers, like people get a bit lazy, but it's just an extra way for us to like support different kinds of artists. And people actually look forward to the flyers. I don't know if there are a lot of parties where people are like, I wonder what the flyer is going to look like. So it's just like an extra fun way for me to spend my money.
Out of curiosity, Mrs. Dimple, what makes a flyer lazy? Because I ain't gonna lie, like I get geeked up when I see flyers sometimes. You know what I'm saying? What's your interpretation of that? What makes you say that?
I would say like when it's just words, when it's just stock images. I don't know, like like I think. Well, let me be clear. I don't think it's lazy, but I don't think people for parties do a lot like, oh, I wonder what the flyer is going to look like for this party. Like I'd say we've been able to build that anticipation up as well. People always know like there is going to be something special and unique about all of the artwork that comes with all the flyers. So maybe I'll rephrase it from lazy.
No, you already said it. You got to own that shit. You're like, lazy. Why'd you say the word?
You spoke your truth, man. That's what it is. And out of curiosity, the Sailor Boom, how long has this been going on? What was the inspiration, if you don't mind me asking? Like, you know, it's because this is a really dope. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I wish I lived in New York or at least was there when these was happening. I ain't gonna lie, I'm really tempted to come through for the next one. Just to, you know, I was playing about the twerk thing, even though, you know, it can go down if it needs to.
He's not playing.
I'm
telling you, if any twerk song comes on, no matter where we're at, and this is me and him, it could just be me and him. I could be in the car next to him, and the song comes on, and he goes park the car, put his hands on the steering wheel, and twerk in my face. The whole time I'm uncomfortable. It don't matter how uncomfortable.
Maintaining eye contact.
Exactly, because it's a lifestyle.
Back at me, he looks back at me.
He does look back at me. He will look back.
Yeah, he does.
I never looked back at it.
He was like, you can smack it if you want.
I ain't say that.
No, we're not doing that. I mean, we're good friends.
I think we should be doing that. I think we should be. I ain't never looked back at it.
That last portion from the record that the jury does not pay any attention to. Nah, man. I mean, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. But yeah, man, I'm tempted to pull on up, man. How long has this? First of all, he lying. All right, I ain't never looked back at it. I ain't got enough to look back at it like that. You know?
Don't make me go into the archives and pull out the footage.
Hey, hold on. I got archives too now, nigga. You know,
that's a whole nother thing now.
Ain't no shame. Pull it out.
Tiffy got the phone ready. She's like, okay, that's video.
All right, hold on. Don't let me put the right song on. Anyway, but yeah, DJ Dimple, like, talk to us. Like, when this concept? This is such a dope ass concept. For those of y'all who don't know, this is probably not gonna work as well as I'd like it to. But I'm gonna see if I can pop some of this up on the screen. Here is just a little video that's on the page that you should all follow right now, which is DJ Dimple _BK on Instagram. And here's a little bit. Now it's a little choppy, all right, because the internet don't work.
Break it down a second.
Our governor don't like us to have it because you can find out Black history on it. But yeah, here's just a few highlights from the Sailor Boom Boom. Yeah, talk to us about this. When did this start and whose concept? Like, just give us a origin story, if you will.
Oh, 100%. No, we kicked off Sailor Boom in 2019. So it's been 4 years of throwing the party, which has been amazing. And my friend and I, we were both DJs. And she was like, when you come to New York, we need to throw a party together. Like, that is the goal. That is the aim. Because I used to live here in 2014, went back to Australia. And so we stayed in touch. And as she was expanding her DJ career here, as I was continuing to DJ in Australia, while it's so fun to be able to just go out to a venue and play music, it is something wholly different to be able to create your own space and your own community and curate what you want that to look like. And, you know, I credit Omar for really enhancing the nerd side of me. I was always a big Sailor Moon fan, but like when it comes to all the additional anime, all the gaming stuff, it just, expanded tenfold with that. And so when we were coming up with the party concept, we were like, we could just get together and DJ, but there's got to be like a way to make it fun. There's got to be a way to make it unique. And so we came up with an anime party because we both love to cosplay, and it's kind of fun playing like TV theme songs and anime theme songs. Like, where else in the club are you going to be able to hear that? And so we were like, what if we did that? Because really, when you think about it, unless you go to cons regularly, which are expensive as hell, and then you got to pay extra for all the after parties, there's no real way for people to go out and cosplay and party on a regular basis. And Halloween only comes around once a year. And what are you meant to do? Like, wear that outfit one time a year and then toss it and wear something new the next. So we're like, what if there was a way for us to do that like regularly throughout the year? And truly, like, it just picked up. Like, some of our first parties that we did in 2019, like, when I tell you, there was like, I can't remember how many Sailor Scouts we had on stage at that first party.
Wait, you're talking about the very first one, the official
we don't
first
talk
one?
About the very first
okay, so the one we're counting, that was
the one where we learned from the mistakes. We were like, okay, this is how we want the party.
There might have been at least like maybe 10. It was a whole row. It took up the whole.
Like, we had a whole row. Like, just watching people show out for it was insane. The twerk comp was the brainchild of my partner, Hijinks. And when we were like, oh yeah, people are twerking for free out here, what would they do if we threw a little money their way?
I'll tell you what they'll do, boy. They'll go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
I'll show you the strange for some change real quick.
Get the dollars ready. Get the phone.
The knee's still kneeing.
The boy Meg the Stallion, boy. They call him Miles the Stallion. Let me stop.
But no, it's been an amazing journey. Like, we headlined the main stage at BlurredCon a few years back. We get people coming through regularly. We get people traveling. Like, it's been amazing. Like, Tiffy's come to New York a couple of times now to host the party. And it's like, we get to bring in hosts that have fandoms of their own. So we've had Fantastic Frankie come and host a party. We've had Zero Gravity, who's in the horror space. So it's just such a, like, the best part of it is for sure building community. Like, we've made friends from it, like friends that we've literally invited to the house. Through like, so yeah, I don't know. It was just a really great way to be able to meet people, play the music that we want to play, dress up, and get drunk and have a good time while we do it. Like, it's been phenomenal.
Man, are you pondering what I'm pondering, top half? Field trip? Like, I'm sitting there like, hold the fuck up. Because Tiffy's going from West to East Coast to host these shits. You know what I'm saying? And like, she's doing it. I saw some of the footage on Tiffy's page, and they're not like, it's a whole vibe. I will say, it looked like a really young vibe. You know what I'm saying? No. Like, you know, would a mature, seasoned individual who, you know, will be able to kick it with some of these young, athletic, very, very, very well dressed, very well moving individuals that I see on this floor. Tiffy does it just fine, man. She's in that crowd, man. I mean, what is it that we see? What is it that we don't see in the videos that you do see, Tiffy, when you're at these spots, when you host it? Like, you talked about seeing the front and at the back. We talked about rescuing men, rescuing girls from their own boyfriends. But what else is it that we see that we could expect if we ever had a chance to pop up on it?
You're muted.
Oh no, Tiffy, we're missing all the
I said alcohol is what was there.
I was like, people better relax on Tiffy. It's 7:30 in the morning. Beat face and everything. I was like, I got to call. I was like, Tiffy's here. Oh my God. I was like, the commitment.
Here's the trick this time. Oh, I fell asleep in my makeup last night. So
Hey!
when I got the I was like, oh, we're
I woke
halfway
up like
ready
this.
already.
That's a life.
I wasn't at the party, but I'm doing shows out here, so it was a late night, and then I am on the chat. But it's incredible parties. I don't club anymore. I am out of my clubbing days, but I'll turn up for a Sailor Boom party. And the first one, I was a little more shy, just kind of like, let me just be in the corner. Let me get the microphone. Oh, someone else wants to be on the mic. She wants to scream. That's fine. I'm not going to compete with her. And we walk off the stage. Hey, no, like, so it is so much fun. I'm around nerds. But the other thing about conventions, like being deep into the convention life, the after parties there, first of all, they smell real bad. Real bad. Like, there's that. And there's also a mixture of nerds. Like, if you're at BlurredCon and you're at like one of those parties there, then yeah, you know that the entire convention you've been surrounded by your own. But for the most part, these cons are a mixed bag. So those after parties, when I'm sitting back going, these fucking nerds. Like when I'm the nerds with none of the swag to go along with it, none of the good stuff. So to me, that's the difference. Like, yes, big convention vibes. We are dressed up, we are nerdy, but it has the melanin, it has the seasoning that the conventions be missing. So I am extremely bitter anytime I can't go to New York for a Sailor Boom party. I am so upset. I'm just be like, they're just gonna have the party anyway without me. Wow. Like, as if the show must not go on. But I'm so sad if I cannot be there, because those parties are so much fucking fun. So that's my take on them. And that's why I will be losing my mind in the chat if I'm not there physically. And then, like, not doing any work. I was trying to get some work done after rehearsal last night and stuff in my room. I'm like, nope. She said a twerk competition, so let me get up. That's for me. But like, no, yep.
No, and the age is actually, I mean, yeah, it really varies. I wouldn't say that. I mean, Glenn and I were both in our 30s. Most of our crowd really loves like old school music, so I think it's actually much more of an older crowd than you'd go to most. I feel like that's just New York in general. You like for the clubbing scene, or when you go out, I don't think age is as much of a barrier as it is for other areas. Like when I was in Australia, there's definitely an expiration date on when you go out. And because the legal age there is 18, it's like by 23 or 24, people stop going out, and it's all young crowds, and you feel weird. Or like when I DJ in Manhattan sometimes, like at that place, it's like you can feel it's young, but I never really feel that at Sailor Boom. It's like a good variety of ages.
We had a Sailor.
I'm actually going to make the live stream available. I don't know why my Twitch does that, where I have to do that manually, but I'm going to quickly do that. Hold on.
Okay, Sailor Moonies was out there. She has a Sailor Moonies podcast, Victoria. She was up there twerking, and then she gets done. She's like, "All right, man, I'm getting a little too old for this, man." I was like, "You represented for the old." No, you did well. She did the Shawn Michaels HBK stance. I was like, I know you had it, didn't you? I know you had it. She did the with the guns and everything. I was like, didn't know you were a WWE fan like that.
Yo, pull up though. All right, but Tiffy. You said something that was interesting. There's a lot to unpack here, and don't let me hog all of the questions here. Tiffy said that she was up late. You were up late watching this in your room.
Look at her face. She was like, they said I'm there.
I'm gonna be there till the stream cuts off. Like I'm gonna be there until it's over. And if I don't get a goodbye message in the chat from Tasha, I will cry myself to sleep. The fuck? Like, no, yes. I'm a support. I'm a look.
So do you? I'm just curious because I'm trying to picture this respectfully. I'm picturing Tiffy getting ready for the party as if she's actually going to the party. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you people what I'm saying. Like Tiffy said, I went to sleep with my makeup on, but she didn't go nowhere. She was around.
In a dream, she was somewhere. She was dreaming about it. She was there. She was there.
Right, and you never know who you gonna meet in your dreams, Vince. No, because I go out. First of all, this is daily. If I'm not doing the face, I'm not doing well mentally. I don't have crystals on.
Vogue.
That's alarming if you know me. But no, because I was out during the day and my rehearsals get out 10 o'clock my time, so 1 o'clock over on the East Coast. So on my breaks in rehearsal, I'm pulling up, I'm listening to the party. The whole cast is listening to the party because I'm not putting my earphone in. We all gonna enjoy Sailor Boom. And the instant rehearsal was over, I'm driving home with it on, and then I'm transferring to my computer when I get in my room. So the makeup was already on and things like that. I think, and but
that's one of the things that we actually took out of the pandemic. So during 2020, because we kicked the party off in 2019, we did a lot of I know a lot of us have collectively blocked out what went on that year, but we were on those Zoom parties. We were trying to stream. We were trying to figure out any kind of way to keep it going virtually. And so once we returned to doing parties in person again, we realized from an accessibility perspective, number one, not everyone might feel safe coming out to the party. People might not be in the city to do it. And so we've really been able to work with all the venues here where they help us run sound. We've been able to perfect that. So if people can't make it, there's an opportunity for them to experience it online. And that was definitely something we took out of the pandemic from an accessibility perspective to keep it going, because that shift really happened where everyone was like, oh yeah, this is great. Everyone can be a part of it when it's online. And then we didn't see a huge amount of follow through once things went back to being in person, where we're like, oh, we just leave behind the people that can't make it anymore. And so even yesterday, the sound guy, that was the first time we had done it at that venue since the pandemic. And he really worked for us to figure out a way to get the audio streaming properly. So that kind of commitment to doing it means that, yes, I get the extra energy of Tiffy in the chat, which is priceless, and totally worth me making that man work extra hard.
It was a joke. Bobby. It was Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. I was real sweet to him too. I was like, thank you so much. It's just that we have people on the West Coast that really want to watch the party. And he's like, I'm going to try really hard. I was like, yeah, you're going to keep trying. Okay? So nice. Thank you so much. I hate to disappoint all the people that want to watch on the stream.
I don't know if you saw in the chat, but when Gravity was just like, oh, I can tell y'all got New York booties. I can tell you from and the chat we were like, dang, I guess we got California booties.
Hold on, timeout, flag on the play. Okay, we had to discuss what a New York booty is. And
if I could get in the words of our late friend Tasai, that's all known as Killer Was Fit. The way he would describe it in a New York summer would be the term loose butt. And if you're not familiar with what loose butt is, like our friend Cobb, who was playing games, was like, what is loose butt? Loose butt is the season of the sundress where the butt is, it's really, it defies trigonometry, if you will. And this is for, this goes for men, women, and non-gender conforming. It's a wave effect that occurs in New York, and you can get this in New York. I believe you got at least, if you've been here at least over maybe 3 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? The loosest of the loose butt comes around about year 5, but you can get your way there. It's I don't know if it's in the water, I don't know if it's in the air, but after about 3 to 5 years, the loose butt effect will take hold upon you. You might get a glimpse of loose butt. If you're here for at least a week, you might be like, and loose butt can occur. It happens mostly in the summer and the spring. It can occur in the fall, and you've seen glimpses of it in the winter as well.
The winter is preparation.
Yes, it is. It is
let me not be in the house. Let me keep walking.
Exactly.
So I'm ready for the summertime.
Exactly. Loose butt be happening under the North Face. That North Face is giving a lot of face right now. That's some loose butt under there. That's some loose butt under there.
Come on, my man not breaking it down with the trigonometry. If you look at the if you take the derivative of a halfway loose butt and put it in the wind, hold up, man. So what's a Cali butt, Omar? Since you're the
I'll leave it to the Californian to
yes, California, please, Tiffy.
I was looking over the facts and figures, and
please.
And I recall lyrics, and correct me on the person that coined this phrase. LA face with an Oakland booty. So represent well the butts in question. I am closer to LA, and I think it has something to do with, like he mentioned, the walking, and perhaps like when you ask a New Yorker about bagels or pizza, they say it's the water, and that might have something to do with it. So I'm trying to do the math. If I am moving to New York, how do I prepare? And it doesn't appear to be shit I can do. So I just gotta invest the time in New York with walking very quickly places. They walk so damn fast, but
you can train it. All you need is a pair of Timberlands, and that'll get you your weight training for being in New York, and that will prepare you for loose. But
is that like Rock Lee?
Yes, exactly. That Timberlands are the Rock Lee weights for your leg. It prepares you. It gets you straight in order to prepare the butt for the looseness.
So then in the summertime, he like rip the weights off, and you're like, I'm wearing sandals now.
Sandals, but
look
oh my.
The butt.
Tiffy, please.
2 questions concerning the Timberlands.
Yeah.
My notes. The first question being, does it have to be the traditional oranges yellow? Because I saw some flower print.
Yes. The butters. If you want the full effect. If you want the full effect.
But I saw a pair that were floral in New York. I saw them in New York. They felt official.
You cannot run before you walk. All right. You gotta get the butters, and don't get the nakeds either. The butters have the leather at the top. All right. If you get that shit without the leather,
hold up. And keep double soled.
Exactly.
You don't get the one with the black stuff.
Talk to him.
No. We want double sole. Yep. You want the cushion, the extra.
No, you're talking too fast. Yo,
Tiffany's trying to put this down.
You gotta have that. Folds over. You gotta have that.
And you keep that little triangle Timberlands, the tag that comes with it, you keep that on there.
With the little metal on there.
Yep, the little metal tag.
I'm sorry. A follow-up question to that. I have seen a hybrid of Timberlands and high heels.
I knew it was coming. If you feel now we might disagree on this, but if you get them butters, and then if you feel in your heart of hearts that you can handle that heel. All right, I tried that way. You know what I mean? I never walked the same. I wasn't ready. I wasn't sure of myself. But if you feel in your heart of hearts that no, I can do this shit. I've reached this level. Then you get that goddamn heel. You do it.
Well,
Talk about Ty.
Well, just this is a little bit of insider information. I probably shouldn't even be sharing this right now.
Talk to him.
Okay.
But this goes to the loose booties, right? For all those people that decided to go against the construction way and go into the hybrid boot, Tim, whatever that thing is. That is actually the origin of the loose booty, because everybody in New York starts to kick you in your ass as you walk, and for having those on, and after you've gotten so many kicks, the booty muscles can't take that type of, you know what I'm saying?
That's the rough way.
So that's actually, and damn, I know they might revoke my card for this shit. Yeah, that's, if you ever wear those hybrid boots, just know the loose booty will come a lot faster than it would if you just walk around naturally with
you get jumped in.
Yeah. If I order a pair and start wearing them now,
in
California.
Yeah, y'all got hills, so that might help you,
Yeah,
just walk up the hills in the boots, and that will help.
Right.
If you're tuning in, we're talking about blurred shit this morning. Obviously, this is all about Little Mermaid and across
all
the Spiderverse.
I'm just imagining Tiffy wearing heeled Tims in the suburbs, walking up a hill, and I'm like, she's gonna make it.
Like, I got this. Watch this shit.
I'm gonna walk right past my neighbor's house with the NRA flag too. What he gonna do? All of it. Just like this, bouncing. My outfit not gonna match or nothing. It's gonna be me at the top with my New York Tim heels on the bottom. And I, like Nolly said, add a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. I'm on it. I'm so on it. I usually found the white bread at Sprouts Market. I am on my way.
That's a proper food regimen. That's a proper food regimen right there. Thank you, Nolly, for that. Thank you. I almost forgot about that. Proper food regimen.
Nolly, shout out to Daniel, shout out to Lisa, shout out to everybody in the comments. And shout out to Loose Booty. Now, if you don't have a loose booty, don't be okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You can always get them.
There's always time. All right. Are Tim's still, bro? Are Tim's still like $109? Like,
no, they're 200.
They're 200 now.
Yes. You apparently haven't bought Tim's in a long time.
I ain't bought Tim's. I used to wear nothing. I'm the only dude who lives in Florida who used to buy Tim's as if I was in the Wu-Tang Clan. Like I legitimately thought I was Master Killer. Like I was walking around with Timberland boots, and folks was like, "Bro, it's 98 degrees." I'm like, "Yo, it don't matter, son." I mean, I called my brother son because he shined like one. You feel me? You know,
in high school, I had like literally like 8 different pairs of Tim's, like in colors. You know what I'm saying? I had the big, like I had the pink lace-up boot ones. I had like the fold over, like the oh my god, you have no idea how many Tim's I had. And then I had to finally like talk to myself and be like, yes, you live in Florida. You have to let these go.
I took Omar to India a few times, and like everybody there wears sandals because it's hot as hell. And it's like I come from the village, it's like dirt everywhere. Omar introduced that whole village to Tim's.
Yes,
They've
sir.
never seen Tim's in their entire life.
First of all, you've seen a black guy for the first time. They're like, what the fuck's he wearing? What the fuck?
So now they're like doing the Lord's work in the villages of India.
Man, it's kicking up dust. Jesus.
Everybody was like, sir, it's hot. It's hot.
And?
Are you sure those are the shoes you want to wear? And
yeah.
like, absolutely. This is a statement of my identity.
Exactly.
There's so much to talk. Look, all right. First of all, I want a follow-up on this conversation. Report back to base at 0800 in about 2 weeks' time. We're going to be looking for the Tiffy bump, all right, to see whether or not the loose booty is become more looser, and if the NRA guy had anything to say. Pull up, because we ready for that, bitch. We down here in the stand your ground state, bitch. I got 2 lifesavers and a dual one as well. We ready to go, bitch. Anyway, outside of that, though, I am curious because, like I said, there's a lot to unpack, and since we're just now meeting Mrs. Holman for the first time, you just said a whole bunch that struck me as incredibly interesting. First of all, for those of y'all who aren't familiar, this is what you see on the live stream, which is available right now, if I'm not mistaken. Is it okay if I share with everybody? Okay, so this is, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to this in our comments, and also I'm going to put it in the afterwards in our header so that anybody can access this. And please like, share, comment, and all of that. But look, the vibes is real, but this is a vibe that was brought over. And now I've heard you say, Mrs. Dimple, that this is not only you coming from Australia, but also from India. So you're bringing in like international blurred vibes to New York, and that's extremely fascinating to me. I mean, not only do we have to get into the lady in the to romantic story between you and Omar and how y'all met and how you roped them back to India, which sounds like a whole vibe in itself. But I mean, just the fact that you are bringing Australian vibes over here to New York and are doing it in a blurred way, is that happening a lot? What's going on? Like, I mean, I'm interested in your origin story. We're just interested, you know? How'd you come here? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, my life was just not doing a lot in Australia. Like, I was just working a lot. I was like, oh man, there's no longevity for this. And I was like, I just want to leave. Let me go to New York. And I was able to find a visa that brought me here for a little while. And so I just packed my bags and I just came to New York, and I was like, I'll just figure it out. So I booked a hostel for a couple of weeks, and I was like, we'll just see how it goes. And that was like almost 10 years ago now.
Wow.
And it's really interesting. Like, I feel that, I don't know if it's for women in general, or maybe it was just in Australia, but I feel people don't proactively talk to you about nerd shit until you bring up something, and then it's almost like this like wide-eyed, oh wow, you know about it too, okay, let's talk about it. So I don't know if prior to it I just didn't mention it enough, but now when I go back to Australia, a lot of my friends, like a lot of people I chat with, a lot of people back in the DJ community that I have there, see like videos of the party or the promo of the party, and they're just like, oh yeah, okay, we love that shit too, like you should do a Sailor Boom in Australia. And so Nerdum is definitely like, I went home, I chatted with my cousins, and they're up to date with One Piece, and I'm like, okay, that's a lot for me. I'm never gonna get there with you. But like that shit really does run international, and I think there's like an appetite for parties like this everywhere.
Hell yeah.
It's just that building a community that's centered around like Black and POC folks down there is a little tougher. Like, it is a very white country.
Yeah. I don't know much about Australia, but I don't think there's a lot of color. But
I mean, depending on what. I mean, there's black. It's just not African of African descent.
Yeah,
it's the indigenous, right? It's their the
Aborigines
that predominantly exist down there. So I would assume that in addition to being a nerd and not being able to outwardly express that also as a person of color, there's also like a hint of categorization that goes along with that. Is that why you left? Because you need to get down with the brown over here on this side?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, look, it wasn't the healthcare that brought me over here. It's much better over there. So when I say like the social safety nets in Australia are like a lot better, but it's really far away from what's going on in the world in general. And yeah, it's like, even though life in certain extent is like harder to live here, the community that I've built, like I couldn't have imagined building that in Australia. It just wasn't something that I found that naturally existed. It would have taken a lot of work, and it just ended up being so easy to do here. Like everyone was so welcoming, and it's really this fine line being Indian in what is like a predominantly Black space, where it's like, you make sure that you're doing what you can to curate it to be safe for people, and when to highlight yourself and when to pull back and highlight others. Like I think that's really the important part about it. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know, there's no city like New York to do it. Like it's crazy how easy it's been. And even like when we talk about adding in an additional intersectionality of being queer, it's like we're doing stuff that we're incorporating in for Pride. Like we're running a huge Pride event that's coming up in June, and we're bringing together like 7 queer collectives in the city. And we all go out and support each other. And you realize, like, even though people wouldn't classify themselves as nerds, they come in and we play a Steven Universe track, and they know that shit. You know what I mean? Like we go back and we play like some of those old theme songs, like a Keenan and Kel, or That's So Raven, or Moesha, and people.
Oh my God!
Wow. People don't think in their mind, oh, like, does that make me a nerd? And you're like, yeah, all of it's nerd shit. Like if you're coming in and you're like, oh, this is unlocking a memory in my mind, like that's what we live for. And I seriously had it yesterday where we were playing like Stronger Than You, and I just saw this woman's head like do a complete 180 to the stage, like could not believe what was happening. And that's really what we live for, like for those moments. Like it's really crazy.
How long have you been DJing?
For over 10 years now. I started in 2012.
That's pretty dope.
So this like particular thing, like it's really hard when you go on DJ for other people. They get a lot of control over, this is the vibe we want, this is what you can play. Like I used to play, and when I talk about like opening up spaces for the crowd and making it safe, like I DJ'd at some places in Brooklyn where
talk about it.
The crowd was all Black, like, you know what I mean? But the bar was owned by East Asians. And I remember coming in and seeing a sign at the DJ booth that was like, here's a list of rules for the music you can't play. Like, we don't want any hip hop. We don't want any swear words. We don't want this. Like, you can't play ratchet music. And I was like,
why'd you book us?
Well, yeah. And I was like, do you know who comes to your bar already to spend money? It's like, you want the money, but you don't want the people that come with the money. Like, I don't like that, So it's like
that weird place we went to in LA where, remember, they had like all the ethnic music in that tiny little room. What happened? That was so weird.
Yes, like they were like, oh, they put out the color chart, and they're like, you up here, you go to that room, you down here, you go to that room.
Are you serious?
It was a brown paper bag.
We looked around and we were like,
oh wow.
And then they came in and cut the music and put on like the Euro pop music, and we were like, so we got nothing, and we ended up leaving after that. I think it was
exactly. They were like, you be satisfied with these crumbs, take it and leave.
They're coming in here with too much loose butt. Get them out of here.
Not California butt.
Are we self-segregating?
That's crazy.
Yo, my head just went everywhere. Like, I can't imagine if I was in a club somewhere bopping, you know what I'm saying, sitting there and we got the whole vibe over, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I do one of those. What's that dude's name online? What's the
Doug Funny?
Demeach online. Like he does all those when you're a wedding, when you're at a wedding, and then they play like Star Wars or whatever. I had that whole triple tape. Like, hold up, is this motherfucker playing Nicktoons right now? And I would lose my collective shit. What are some of the songs that you play at Sailor Boom that you get the most reaction from. You already know what they are. You're a DJ. You know the hot spots.
You're going by last night. You did Fall Out Boy yesterday. That shit.
Are you serious? They were here
what song?
The hard R's were hard R right there. Like, oh, we got my shit right here. Move to the side.
That's my shit right here. I know. Haven't you ever heard?
Yeah.
That's what he played.
Yes.
I mean, the Demon Slayer opening for season 1, that always goes off. People love that. Haikyuu, the opening for Haikyuu, what was it, like season 1?
Fly is the name of the song.
Yeah, Fly. That one's there. People love the Hunter x Hunter theme song. We play that. One time we did the opening for Girlfriends. And that was a ballad. That was a moment, actually. Everybody singing the Girlfriends opening song was kind of amazing. Teen Titans.
Catching Villains.
Yeah, Catching Villains. Catching Villains, you don't even know that is like not like that song should chart. I play that during a regular set. Like if I'm just doing a chill set, I was like, people need to know that this song exists. And you can play wherever. The DuckTales theme song, the opening for DuckTales. Like, people will just come in and it's like one of those ones where it takes your brain a second to recognize what's going on. All that. Glenn does the one for all that.
Shit! I'm gonna lose my shit if you play all that, yo.
Which is TLC. I didn't know that was or maybe I just forgot, but I saw
they did that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's right, that's Left Eye in here. Oh yeah.
Yes,
or the Keenan and Kel opening with Coolio.
Coolio,
you know what I'm saying?
They play that.
Play with me. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Like, you really felt the work there. Like, we don't get as many like curated opening theme songs anymore. But wow, they really ate. Like Nickelodeon in the 90s was
killing it,
doing all of that. It was great.
Do you take requests?
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing when it comes to DJs and requests, because I feel like it's such like a visceral topic. But if people are coming out to enjoy the night and playing their song, we'll just make that for them and it fits within what I'm doing, I'll always try and take them. The only things that piss me off about it is if you come and request a song and then I play that song and you're not losing your fucking mind, I'm mad. Like I'll remember your face. Like I have my own internal like don't take requests from these people wall, because if I go to the effort of doing it, I'm looking for you in the crowd and I'm looking to see if you actually wanted that. You were just requesting to request. And then if I play predominantly in like white venues and they request, I make them pay me money to do requests.
Didn't that dude drop 50?
Yeah. I had a guy drop $50 for Return of the Mac. I'm like, you're stupid. I want to play this song anyway. But you wanted to hear it now, and I will take your money, sir. And he gave me the money, and he loved it. So I was like, okay, well, thank you for supporting the DJ fund.
Oh yeah.
Yo, so you did just mention DuckTales. Now, DuckTales, let's keep it real. Out of all of the themes,
we're doing this. We're doing this.
We can do this again.
I'm scared to go there.
Well, they had a conversation about like the best Saturday morning theme songs or Disney theme songs.
Disney after school theme songs. And keep it real. You just said DuckTales. You know what I didn't hear you say? I didn't hear you say Goof Troop. Now I love Goof Troop.
They played Goof.
Oh, wait, yo, Tiffany, we was just playing. Tiffany, I was. But no, out of all of those after school joints, do you have a favorite? If you do, Mrs. Holman, speak wise. Hey, think.
You know what household this is.
Like, do I plead the fifth? I don't know.
Go ahead.
Please. Omar, go away, man. You put too much pressure on him, man. Man, turn around, man. Don't look toward the ceiling. All right, let me throw a few out there for you.
Yeah.
There's DuckTales. Yeah. All right, obviously. There's Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Mm-hmm. There's Tails Spin.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. All right. We also have did I list? Is that it? No, I think that's about it.
Gummy Bears.
Who? Now, Omar, last time we discussed and posted something about this, Omar brought up some additional options of which we did not mention.
Options not in the category.
Not in this space. Not in that
space.
Threw
the comments all off. They were all off after that.
I am the category.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you didn't say X-Men. Like X-Men, the X-Men.
We said Disney.
Is it not Disney now? Do they not own X-Men?
Oh no, we don't. We're not doing this.
Do they not? Have our overlords not taken the X-Men?
I mean, you're right. You might have been right or whatever, but still, you don't have to answer that, Miss Dipple.
No, I mean, it's going to be DuckTales for me.
Oh, DuckTales.
Hey!
It only got better with the reboot. Like the reboot came and like took it to another level. Yeah. I think it's going to be DuckTales for me.
I think Tiffy just unfriended you on
I was muted.
Tiffy, yours is Goof Troop? No, yours was Goof Troop. What was yours, Tiffy?
Yeah, she said
mine is Goof Troop.
Yeah, what was yours?
I'd have to go with Darkwing Duck. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn it! The fuck I'm talking about.
That's why when you said that, I was like, of course I had to be in the outer ring with Omar, but I'll take it. What's up? Okay, I'm always the oddball out, bitches.
What was y'all's?
Ty, I don't think Ty said anything.
I don't even remember. I wasn't as thoroughly invested in
what is it now, Ty? What is it now?
The thing from inside the NBA.
Yeah.
Is it Goof Troop? Sit down, Omar. Okay. Is it Goof Troop?
Yeah, for the sake of the argument, yeah.
I'm just did a Jedi mind trick on Ty.
He was like, "Well, fuck it, yeah, sure."
She gave me like sleepy eye, like I had to. I say no to that. Like, how could I say no to that? Yeah, yes.
Nah, I started as a DuckTales, and I still stand by. I'm with the DJ on this one, but I was quickly reminded of how much I loved the Gummy Bears theme.
Oh man!
And had to retort because I do believe that Gummy Bears is one of the most slept on. You know what I'm saying? Joints and the theme itself. I mean, listen, Gummy Bears was basically the Game of Thrones of the Disney universe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these motherfuckers are in the woods and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody really talks about it. But yeah, I think they need to reboot that. Which brings me to a topic we want to bring up at some point, which is don't answer this now. I'm just throwing this out there so that you can have it in the back of your mind. So when we reapproach this a little later, you'll have something to bring to the table. But we may discuss in a little bit some projects that you loved in the nerd space, all right, that nobody else loved for whatever reason. Like, you didn't realize that everybody else hated it until you left and read the reviews. I was like, oh shit, I didn't like that shit. Ooh. I didn't even know what that was. Ooh. There's a whole bunch that exists. I think Tiffy and I discussed a couple of them last week. Quack. Nobody who watched Quack. Nobody watched that.
I was there. I was there, bro.
That was you.
I was there, bro.
All right. I don't even remember what that song is. I don't even know what that sounds like.
Quack was the Huey, Dewey, and Louie as teenagers with Donald Duck and all them.
Oh, okay. All right,
also,
fair enough.
I'm gonna exit out of the conversation and go and grab myself a much needed coffee. But thank you for having me here. This was lovely meeting you.
Appreciate you. Well, listen, everybody, make sure you do go and follow DJ Dipple _BK, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not messing that up. And please, you have an open invitation anytime. And I hope we get an invite. You know what I'm saying? We might have to pull up on that Sailor Boom. We might have to make that nationwide. We might have to boom it down here.
You let me know. I know some people that can manage the guest list. I can get your names, places. Like, if we get to see you on stage,
it's worth it.
Shaking that butt, I'll do it. I'll pay you money. No, sorry.
Hey, well, listen, we will be up there. The plan right now is to be in New York for Comic-Con in October. So maybe there'll be some cross-promotional stuff we could discuss, but we won't put you on the spot right here. We just appreciate you pulling up for a few seconds.
Yes. We sometimes do stuff around Anime NYC and Comic-Con. Like, we'll partner with Sonic Boombox, who does some of the after parties. So if anything comes up, we'll let you know. But 100%, like, open to everything. Like, anything to keep the nerd vibes going. So.
Okay, thank you. Hey, one time DJ Depot. Thank you so much, and keep the vibes going, and make sure you keep those loose butts loose for us up there. And
you said loose butts, and Omar's just staring.
Yeah, if I need anything for the store.
He's trying to make sure it didn't set in. He's like,
it's like she was sitting down. Wait a minute.
Yo, y'all stripping. So don't they lovely couple. This is. How long y'all been together? If you don't mind me asking. Now let me see if you can answer without looking at her.
How long? As in,
how long y'all been together? How long y'all? Two answers.
We started talking in 2014. She left and came back in 2015, 16. We got married in 2018. We got married. I mean, we got. I'll tell the whole fucking world. We had two damn marriages. We had 2018 and 2020. We had two. There's a.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, please.
Oh no. It was. We got. So we're talking since 2014. Again in like 2016. We got married in 2018 in New York, in court in New York, and then we got married again in 2020.
Wow. The Tumblr post you saw of mine, I was like.
I ain't telling. No, they ain't getting all that shit, man. I ain't getting all that shit.
We want that. Oh, return, please. What? No, bring us. We want the tea.
They're like, return, please. We want that. We want that talk.
Nah, if she's gone, she's gone. No pressure.
No, she's just sitting there laughing, like doing her hair.
Nah, so because all right, look, Omar, I'm sure your game is strong, or at least it was back when you was on the market. But I'm just curious, like how the relationship spouted. Because as a man who's married to a non-blurred, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, fortunately for you, your wife has some roots in the blurred game. But as for me, it's not the same. So there's a whole tightrope walk that some of us have to walk on when we're dealing with people who don't understand how excited we get when Marvel drops something new, and you're like, "What's the big deal?" Like you're like, "Yo, I have to go see this movie on Thursday." You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, I'm just curious, like, what was the vibes? Did you just see her on the subway? He was like, "Yo, what up?" I couldn't help but notice.
No, it was not. It was not that. I've never been a "what up, ma" guy. We have a mutual friend, and he was performing in Australia, and so they remained friends. And then he was throwing a house party, and then the story goes that she suggested that he do like have a Nintendo 64 there so people can play games like upstairs or something. And it's like, yeah, you could have like Mario Kart. I didn't know about this conversation, so he asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, I think you should do like Mario Kart and whatnot. So when he made the post for the house party, he gave me the credit. And she was like, "What the fuck is this? What? No. What the fuck? I've been here. I've been doing this." And so that's how we started talking online about going to like be facing each other in Mario Kart and whatnot. And then what's it called? And so he introduced us there. He introduced us at the house party. He introduced us, but I was seeing someone else at the time. So that's why she's like, "Oh, you got." And so that in that off year, then I was seeing Tasha, then she went back, and I was still seeing my other person. And then I really got up and up. I communicated that, and then so when that was my other situation was done, and then Tasha was on Tumblr one time. I hadn't liked the post in a long time. The boy had to was ghosting, and that's the version of my hey dickhead is me, put a little heart on the Tumblr page, and she was like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "Oh, something happened." Yeah. Look at you crawling back. Look at you, and then she was doing cosplay. Man, she was doing cosplay. I'm like, man, what the fuck am I doing with my life? You over here Justice Sailor Mars. What the fuck going on with me? So that's when we started talking again and whatnot. And she, I always felt, she had no problem ever seeing like movies and shit. I think it maybe it was never a problem, but like, I don't know if she's ever forgiven me for like when Spider-Man Homecoming was coming out, and I think that was around when she was coming over here to live it must have been like maybe 2017. It was either the first one or the second one. I think it was the first one. And maybe the second one, but I was like, yo, I gotta go, and I want to see this movie. I got it. No, 9:30 opening, 9:30 a.m. And she was like, okay, we can just get there. She's notoriously late. And I was like, nah, I ain't waiting, dog. And so we got there, and I think the movie was at 10. And I got there like 9:30, thinking like, oh, we open, we can sit around, talk, whatever. Man, I was like, yes, we're here. Don't. I was like, oh, no. Shit wasn't even open yet. It was us and like three old white people with their AARP cards out and shit, eating a morning board special from Denny's and whatnot. And she's like, "You got me out of bed for this shit." And it opened like 5 minutes later. I've never lived that. I like being places early. I like being because I want to see the previews. I want to see the previews.
Oh man, you do previews?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't do previews. Not for movies that I know I'm going to watch, because it's like for me they give away too much. I completely stopped watching.
I mean, it's trailers. I mean, this is I can't beat that allegation. Yeah, they do. I'm like, I've seen the whole movie at this point, but the one time you remember in Dark Knight, where Joker tells Batman, "Tonight you're gonna break your one rule," and there was a showing for Star Wars Force Awakens, and I was like, man, it was like it's at 6:30, it's 6:27 right now. I'm around the corner. I was running. It was literally just around the corner when I used to work at Times Square, but I ran for my life to catch those previews, dude. I was like, I'm gonna miss. I got to like 6:31. I was like, I might miss none. I was like, oh, tonight you're gonna miss our preview tonight. That's how I fucking felt, man. But I made it still. That's the closest I've ever cut it.
So how is that like? I mean, because one thing that all of us on the street, everybody here is in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I think Yaz is the only one that shares a space with somebody who's almost as equally as nerdy as her. You know what I'm saying? I would say for me and Ty, I think our wives kind of tolerate us. You know what I'm saying? like, all right, if you gotta do it, then whatever. All right, cool. I mean, I think Amy's come a little further now as of late than she was.
More because of the show. Like once she tunes in and starts hearing and it sparks interest, and then she'll watch certain shit. But then it's like, when I get really excited, I'm like, "Yo, babe, you want to go?" She's like, "I'm not really."
Let me tell you how I don't want
it. Not really, but
yeah. So I mean, it was always fascinating for me. Like, I would think that it'd be like a difficult, like a tough, like walk to deal with somebody who's not, because nerd space is a very exclusive. There is a certain amount of enthusiasm that you have that you can't really explain. All right, case in point. Not no stunt, but in the last I spent the majority of this week in San Juan, in Carolina, Puerto Rico. And by the way, Puerto Ricans don't like to speak Spanish to people that they know speak English. Like I speak it in Spanish. Right, I speak it in Spanish.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Si es necesario, puedo hablar español.
Very judgmental.
No hay problema. Tengo la lengua. You know what I'm saying? But if they can detect that you ain't, that's not. They be like, "Look, bro." I went to this one shop and I was like, dígame el hermano, tienes cigarrillos? He's like, "Bro, just tell me what you want."
Why are you doing all this? Why you?
He's like, why are you being so extra?
Who are you trying to impress? It's just.
Pero hermano, yo tengo 3 años de español en mi escuela y yo puedo hablar español contigo. He's like, nigga, if you don't just tell me what.
He probably did after he was on the phone. He was like, you should have seen this American in here asking for some shit.
He's like, what the fuck? He's like, this is Puerto Rico. This is not, Guatemala. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. But while I'm down there, right? I remember last week we discussed seeing Little Mermaid, and I didn't see it. All right, I'm sorry. I hope y'all. I don't know. Did y'all run out and see it? I don't know if y'all saw it or not.
So we better get our story straight because Tiffy's back too. So everybody better get their fucking story straight.
I saw it. I mean, but not the whole thing. No, I didn't see. I didn't get a chance to see it. I have a valid excuse. So we'll go ahead and bring Tiffy back in. Because I see her in the back with that look.
Her face is.
Oh boy, yeah. She wasn't supposed to be.
I didn't get to see it either, Tiffy. I'll throw myself under that bus too.
My favorite part was. Let me stop. So we're in Puerto Rico, and we're doing the thing, the whole family thing, and I'm like, all right, look, come Thursday, I need to go to the movies because I gotta go see Little Mermaid because we discussed having to talk about Little Mermaid this week. Why you gotta go see all that? It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? We in a whole other country, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, because you don't understand, like, this, we got to talk about this shit this week. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. All right, whatever. I'll wait till I get back. So the story goes, oh, Down. Yeah, I just looked down and I saw Tiffy's face on the monitor. I saw Tiffy's face on. That's that disappointed mom from the choir face. I don't want no problems. I promise to God. So my flight was originally at 3:00, set to land back here in Orlando at about 5:30, of which we had already got tickets to our 8:00 show over here in the Altamont Mall. Flight got delayed. No big deal. Okay, so the flight leaves at 5. We get there at 7. We go to the 9:00. Flight gets delayed till 9. All right, now we're going to the midnight show. Flight gets delayed until 11. At this point, we're like, it's not gonna happen. It's not happening unless I get Ty's Fire Stick and fire it up on the flight on the way back. There's no way I'm gonna be able to check it out. And that I got upset. And now the reason I'm talking about that is because if I was with somebody. No, I love you, babe. You know, I know you listening over there. But if I was with somebody who was just as equally into it as I was, you know what I'm saying? Then we would have synced that shit on Thursday because it was top priority. You know what I'm saying? But since I'm not, it's not. It's like, yo, it is not even that serious. The movie ain't going nowhere, blah, 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 blah. And now I have to decide whether or not I want to appease the wife that I have signed a contract with the government with, that's his part, or if I want to see Tiffy give me that look that she been giving for the past couple minutes. And I think, oh my God, jeez. And this one right here too. This one who was with me, all right, who also, am I lying? Did the flights get delayed?
Yeah, I did.
Wasn't we going to see Little Mermaid until the flights got delayed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Kiki, with the clutch.
Say what?
I said thanks, Kiki, with the clutch.
Oh, she said, okay. Now she's talking personal stuff. Yeah, we got our dog. All right, Kiki. Anyway, so that's my excuse. I'm sorry, Tiffy. I'm sorry. I hope you did. I'm assuming you did see it. So we want to get your
talk about it.
Your at least rating on it. But that's one of the problems when you did. I don't want to say problems, but that's one of the complications I'd say when you're dealing with somebody who doesn't share the same enthusiasm with you. It's like, now I'm gonna tell you this right here. There's no way in hell that I'm gonna see the second, third, or fourth showing of Across the Spiderverse. I will be there on Wednesday or Thursday night. Whenever that very first showing is, I will be there. And we don't even bring our own candy. We bring our own nachos and cheese now, too. You know what I'm saying? We at the point where we might even start bringing our own jalapenos in this bitch. So that's where we at right now. So I'm just wondering, like, you don't have to deal with anything like that, I would assume, Omar.
Oh, no, I don't know. But she's already been into things as well. And Tasha's very chameleon, like, right? Like, she's a sicko, man. Like, if I'm watching something and I'm like in episode 5, she's like, oh yeah, I'll just start right here. I'm like, that's some sick behavior because she grew up with TV. Like that was her TV and books were her thing. So she's always able to just jump into a story. So that's another thing about her. If the story is good, she doesn't care. So it doesn't even matter if like it's a nerd thing, but it's a story. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm into it. And she's always down to listen to like a story. So it's like, oh, I might not be into it, but I know you got to get this out of here, right? So it's like, all right, but then also she'll also to a point now where she'll also like, oh, I'll go back and watch things. So it's something maybe let's say I'm episodes up. I'm like, oh, I only rewatch things if I'm rewatching with someone that hasn't seen it before. And so like, okay, I'll go back and do that. I'll make sure they're not on their phone when they're rewatching and shit too. So I'm like, no, we gonna watch this. Put that down. There's gonna be a quiz after this. There's gonna be a fucking quiz. I
know that's right.
I know where that started from. I was in college. I took my girlfriend to see Dark Knight, and we had McDonald's. It was like an 11 o'clock showing. That was a mistake, and she started drifting off. And I think I might have already seen it with my friend. I think I've seen it with her. And she starts drifting off. I nudge her, and I'm like, and then it's been about 2 or 3 times. And she's like, "Hey, you know, like, just let me go to sleep." You know, like, I'm like, just let me go to sleep. Like, I'm obviously not staying up, and I'm like,
damn.
I'm like, the ticket prices for this shit was $18 each. There's gonna be a quiz after this, man.
One for you.
This is Batman, nigga. What are you talking about?
Exactly. What's up,
Bruce?
My mom is infamous for falling asleep in the movie theaters, dog.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you'll go. Like this is why like she has her own movie passes, and we like make her buy her own movie tickets because she be falling asleep, and I'm like, I didn't pay all this money, and you're just gonna sleep through the whole movie. And then she's gonna be like, well, I'll just go watch it again later. Oh, so you're gonna fall asleep on my dime and then watch it on my dime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna see this twice. So one time we were in the movie theater and my mom fell asleep, and I don't know what kind of day she had, before or whatever, but she was like, yo, we could watch a movie late. I think it was like one of the Marvel movies. I can't remember which one, but it was like last year. She was snoring so loud in the movie theater that people were staring at me.
Oh,
all right. And like they were like looking at me. Like I let her sleep for a little bit, I nudged her the first time, and then she started getting real loud, and like people were staring at me like and I was like, okay, you gotta wake up.
Hey.
Yeah, and I woke her up, and then like she like was like, what? And I was like, people are staring. She's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I do.
I do.
So, like, I'm like, you should wake up. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, okay. 20 minutes later, back at it again. And it was louder this time. People are really staring at me. I was like, Mom, wake up! Like I screamed it in the movie. I didn't even give a fuck at that point. I was like, listen, people are staring at me. They're looking at you crazy. Either you need to leave or you need to watch this shit. I was like, it's one of the two. And she was like, you're so fucking mean. Like, she was like, God damn it. She's like, people don't just wake people up in the movies. I was like, I do. Like, the fuck? Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, the price of movie tickets is like the price of rent.
But just can we start putting the blame where the blame needs to go on those movie theaters? Stop making the movie theaters so goddamn comfortable. You making recliner chairs. Hold up. You didn't just make them recliners, but you heated them up. We got a button where we can heat them up. You done made the fucking theaters too fucking comfortable. I went to go see Ant-Man. Minnie will tell you in the comments, I was snoring like a motherfucker. And I didn't give two fucks. I told everybody I saw this already. I'm gonna catch a nap. I'm sorry. It's comfortable in here. And Vinny, I know you're not shaking your head because me and you went to the movies and we both fell asleep.
Yeah. I blame that on the movie though. That movie was trash. Yo.
I blame it on the movie and the fact that we were in a comfortable theater. I remember that.
It was dark.
It was very comfortable. So
it was dark, and yeah, man, and oh my God, you push that button and your legs go up like
hey.
And this time, talk about how like comfortably cold it is. It's not like too cold, but it's like comfortably cold in that. And you're like, God damn it, are they pumping air in this bitch or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, I'm just gonna go to fucking,
don't let them start giving out blankets like it's church. You know what I'm saying?
now.
I
their
swear,
pillows and shit.
Before I asked Tiffy what she thought about the Little Mermaid and if she has any sleep in the movie theater experiences, I want to give one key memory of mine of having somebody fall asleep in a very key movie that I thought. Now, Omar, I know you're not a Star Wars guy. I'm curious, Yaz, as to what movie that was that Mati was. We call her mom. She's the blurred. She's the mother of the blurred. She's our blurred mother. So I'm curious what that was. But picture it. Sicily, 1998. You know what I'm saying? No. Well, all right, it's 1998, and or I think something like that. And Attack of the Clones has branded the movie theaters. Now, my family and I, especially my father, my brother and I, we don't all talk a whole heap. But one thing, my pops and I, that we bond on is nerd stuff. Believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? We're big Star Trek and Star Wars people. So we take my little brother, who's 10 years younger than me. All right, my brother, he coaches at North Carolina, University of North Carolina right now, basketball. Now he's an athlete. All right, I'm the big nerd that was supposed to be an athlete, but I guess I was better at the marching band. Well, that's a whole nother story. Now we go to Attack of the Clones. I've got my little brother with me. All right, I got my pops with me, and we get. First of all, no spoilers, but too late. I'm going to tell y'all about Attack of the Clones. If you haven't seen it already, I'm going to spoil it. All right. We're sitting there watching the scene where Yoda whips out his lightsaber. And my pops and I collectively go, oh, Yoda's about to fight. Yoda, and we're like sitting there going, oh, it's just Yoda fight, Yoda. And then we look over, we're like, Woody, Yoda's fight. This nigga is asleep, like laid out, like not just like, you know how you in the movies that you be like, you might get to church now, But nah, this nigga is like laid down, like comfortable, like, you know what I'm saying? Like head on his, like completely laid out. And we like, yo, wake up, little nigga, wake up. Wake your post ass up, little nickel. Yoda's fighting right now. You know what I'm saying? He's like, And we're like, we couldn't believe it. My pastor and I, we was like, how do you sleep during a Yoda? It's Yoda, bro, and he's fighting. You know, and so that's the only thing I could think of, like when it comes to like Father to Sleep. That shit that me and Ty saw, that shit was trash.
And it's so crazy because the critics gave it rave reviews. The Green Knight, it was what we went to see.
Oh man!
And listen, listen, Omar, it was so trash that within the probably first 10 minutes of the movie, sleep was kicking in. Like, this shit is not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
I was lying to you.
But I have to go and say Vince did try to wake me up before he fell asleep. And he was like, yo, and I was like, no.
I mean, it probably didn't help that we were highly medicated.
Extremely medicated.
You know what I'm saying? But that happened. Tiffy, I'm assuming you probably have never ever in your life fallen asleep in a movie or been with anybody that fell asleep in a movie theater.
I think me falling asleep in the movie theater contributed heavily to one of my last relationships ending.
Oh, damn! What was the movie?
It was more than one. It was every time we went to the movies.
Tiffy!
It might have been the company.
You remember me bringing up Brandon last week? It was Brandon. He's back. No, yeah, it was not.
Might have been the company.
Fell asleep every time, but also I was tired. I was working, and like you said, the theater was comfortable. I don't know, like I would just curl right up and have the nerve to like force him to cuddle with me. Like, oh no, you getting in on this? You nice. You got body heat. I'm anemic. I don't have body heat, so like I'm curled up next to him. We about to be comfortable together. I would bring my blanket. He would keep a blanket in the car because I would take my blanket inside.
He told you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And during the pandemic, we would go to we would do different things during the pandemic. Because we would go to
the way her eyes just lit up, we would do different things.
Yeah, did you see that?
Because we would go to the drive-in movie. Ain't no rules at the drive-in movie.
We'd stay awake for that one.
We stay awake. Well, because and then if we happen to miss something during our activities, that's fine, because the way that the drive-in movie was, it would be like movie A, movie B, and then movie A again. Yeah. So you park and you stay the whole night. I remember one time we fell asleep though. We woke up, that thing was cleared out, and we're like, they don't knock on windows. They don't. They don't do nothing to okay, well.
I'm sure those people traumatized. They probably been traumatized. I've walked up on people's. Here's your
your popcorn. I see you got the already. Yeah.
You got that hot dog already.
Yeah. I see you got that Nathan on you. All right, not a ball dog, but okay.
Did y'all still need these napkins, or how we gonna do this?
Thank you. We have towels. So
I'll wait.
Let's go.
Tiffy, how dare you? Multiple times you fall asleep?
I'm sleepy. I'm a sleepy person. But because also it's hard. I can be wide awake. It is very hard. And Dimple pointed out in the chat, I have felt the pressure of watching TV with Omar. I promise you, all I did, because what you also have to realize is I'm an auntie of 8. Also, I am very important. So my phone needs my attention. And I think that I might have just glanced at it momentarily. And the way that this man reacted. Please don't talk over me as a Black woman. I really don't like being talked over. Thank you. I felt like I just glanced at my phone for a moment. He done paused the television show and we got to rewind and start all over. It was a lot. It was a lot watching TV with Omar. Just know that. So
let me tell you something.
All I did was I glanced. I was literally just like, oh, a ding on my phone. Interesting. I can't pay attention to you, Mr. Phone. I'm watching TV with Omar. And
it was Haikyuu episode 1. She was. I get. That's the first time I was like. Hey, the first time I paused. I was like, okay, we for one, you get one. You get one. And the second time, third time, fourth time, it's like 6 minutes in. I run that bitch back. Like, hey, you ain't gonna be. This is a TV. This is a show about a team coming together. These niggas doing this for volleyball, not just a volleyball sport. They're doing this for a fucking volleyball club. Nah, you ain't gonna disrespect them like that. Tell your kids, hey, I'm watching Shoyo Hinata motherfucking court right now. I can't talk to you because volleyball is life, nigga. Everybody thinks it's basketball. It's like, nah, volleyball is life right now.
I need that enthusiasm in my life. Please.
I'm sorry, but we have a witness. Tasha was there, and she said in the chat, that's exactly what I said to my
phone. It was
not she saw the whole thing.
Women's History Month all over again. God damn it!
She was there, and she's supporting my story. So you're calling your wife a liar?
That's crazy. I call her a bunch of things. I call her. I know. We ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna call her a bunch of things, different activities. I'll tell her. She knows what it is.
Got all close and personal with that. I'll tell her.
Do you see the aggression being displayed
for a good story? It's aggression free because you're gonna enjoy this later on. This shit's gonna you're gonna enjoy this later on. You're gonna find yourself crying over these high school boys and a volleyball club.
This was so long ago. The fact that I'm still on about like episode 4 and on Ranking of Kings, I'm still on episode 4. Because the rest of life happens. Like
you're booked and busy. You can't. I can't be mad at you. You're booked and busy.
I'm trying to watch Queen Charlotte. I am on episode 4.
Yeah, get up in there. Get up in there because the Queen is real. Do you happen? You don't happen to remember, Tiffy, what movies were they movies like in our wheel space or a wheelhouse? Excuse me, or just like you know.
The problem is. It was literally so many movies. Like we went to the theater often, and I fell asleep consistently. To where it's like, babe, we have to figure out. Like clearly, I'm tired coming in, and that ended up being one of the issues in our relationship. I'm working a full-time job. That's when I started taking content creation more seriously. I'm trying to spend time with this nigga, and I'm trying to do it all. Like, and we can maybe do another activity that doesn't involve sitting in the dark in a very comfortable thing. Like, I don't know, like we're doing our best. So I would go. There was never a movie I didn't go back and watch, but I literally can't. The only one I remember is one that we ended up walking out of because it was so bad. The movie itself was bad, and we might have tried to ride it out, but there was also a disgusting person in the movie theater, and this person was Squad, my best friend is
Wait,
here.
What person? A what person?
Scrub.
Disgusting. But yes, but because he was sneezing, and at first he would just be like, "See, my best friend is here."
Hey, Ebony, we love you.
But I need nap dates instead of movie. Yes, I absolutely, and that reminds me of college. We would just get together, and we were weird theater people, so we would go have the rehearsal and do all the theater stuff, and we would go back to my apartment, and all my friends would pile up and just sleep. I would never do that shit. Now I'm like, I'm very much like, I don't know. But I want affection from my friends, but like back then it was different. But the movie we ended up walking out of was Let's Be Cops.
Ooh.
That movie, because it was not good.
Propaganda.
Damon Wayans Jr., right?
Guy in the movie theater, he was sneezing. But when I tell you, I've never heard sneezes so violent and juicy in my life. He was, and we were like, and he was on the other side of the theater, but them spores was spreading up. Like, we cannot stay.
That was
Go ahead, Omar. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was Damon Wayans Jr.'s and Jake Johnson from New Girl, who's the voice of Peter Parker in Into the Spiderverse.
Whoa,
forgive him. I forgive that man. I forgive that man. He needed rent was due. Rent was due. I get it. I get it.
Do something funny. And that was there something funny for the money. So
I'm certain she was going to say it was Daredevil with Ben Affleck, but
never.
She didn't want to disappoint.
It's a B- movie. How dare you?
but yeah, but Tiffy, I mean, you know, I don't want to get too personal, but what's the talk like? You know what I'm saying? Is it like a, babe, you know what I'm saying? Come on, like, how do we, you know, is it like a, yo, what the fuck, bro? Again, like, you gonna fall asleep in Lord of the Rings? Like, it's only 4.5 hours. How dare you? You know what I'm saying?
Where you, all jokes aside, that is how he used to talk to me, and that was also an issue in our relationship. I don't like being talked to that way.
Can't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I was saying
but you know, in those kind of talks, he was upset. But again, it's just like, I'm trying to spend time with you. You wanted to see this movie. We could do something else, but yeah.
That's a bit of a tough one, man. Honestly, because if I can keep it real, like, you know, I did the club scene for so many years. I did, you know, my wife and I, we do the dinner, the travel. The travel is our thing now. You know what I'm saying? We like to go to different countries, you know, different places. But I'm like, movies is my favorite thing. Other than coming here on the weekends, like, movies is like my favorite thing to do, other than gaming, movies, and talking blurred shit. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks a little bit when, you know,
there's something else. I'm sure there's something else that tops that list that you didn't mention. But all right,
it's neck and neck.
I honestly don't think so.
That's like breathing air. That's like breathing air. Bad time. We don't have to discuss that.
Yeah,
neck and neck.
Who needs like, air? You know what I'm saying? But like it's weird. So like, I'm just like, for somebody who's a movie lover, you know, your thing is you're saying, yo, I love movies. I love my girl. If I could just combine these two, you know what I'm saying? If I could
you can do that. You can do that.
That's what I want. And it sounds like he didn't catch the, like, I've realized now, like, that's not where me and the wife are. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that I have already purchased my Across the Spiderverse tickets does not impress her at all. It's like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? Like, what? That shit's not till next week. I'm like, do you understand how sold out this shit's gonna be? That shit, they don't heard it, but you know, we'll go somewhere else. But for you, it sounds like it didn't work out that way. And I'm sorry that he didn't wise up, because it sounded like he didn't recognize, and you know the definition of insanity.
Come on.
The same thing. Expecting it to be different. How are you gonna keep bringing you to the movie?
Yeah.
You know?
In every way imaginable.
It was cheaper then. He wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
But since we are talking about movies, one of the movies that we did have fortunately released this week was, obviously, as we discussed, The Little Mermaid, starring our very own Halle Bailey, who actually looks, now that I've seen her in this role, looks like more like Ariel than any other Ariel that I've seen before. I can't, like, she's done that successful thing. Like, you know how you can't look at Hugh Jackman and not think of Wolverine? Like, now Halle Bailey has done that. And I haven't even seen it yet. I can't even look back at the other Little Mermaid and think, oh, that's Little Mermaid. I'm like, no, Halle Bailey's Little Mermaid. Now, you've seen her in person, Tiffy, and if I'm not mistaken, you also got a chance to see the movie, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, and when I tell you that I prioritized seeing this movie, one, because I really wanted to see it, but I probably could have waited until the weekend. But I was like, I have to see it before 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, because Vince said that we would be discussing this movie. I even saw it without my best friend, because I have worked out. I had to go see it in between one engagement and my 6 o'clock rehearsal. And since our rehearsal space is at the mall, I had to go to the movie theater at the mall, so that by the time I got out the movies, I can walk across the courtyard and into the rehearsal space. I got Under the Sea on my mind, but I gotta go sing about death, because that's what the musical I'm in is about. Do you know what that was like for me, Vince? I'm gonna tell you, because you don't know. It was extremely difficult, but I did that because I made a commitment to be here on this Saturday, because what you told me was that we would be discussing The Little Mermaid. So the fact that you have not synced it because of a flight delay, and I understand ultimately that you have to choose your wife. I support that 100%. So I'm not telling you that you made the wrong decision. I'm just letting you know how your decision impacted me, because I'm tired of being silent. But yeah, it was a great movie.
Tiffy, you have definitely been hanging out with Omar too long. Oh my God.
Why do you say that? Oh, you know what? I've picked up a lot of Omar's habits. I never let her see it, but I'll be throwing in an Australian accent or for no reason. I don't do it in front of her. But over here.
What do you sound like when you use Australian
Right, come on, you
accent?
gotta do it.
She's watching the stream. I will not do it.
She already knows. She already knows. You ruined
What are you talking about?
No, she's in the chat. What do you mean she's not here? She's in the chat.
She's listening anyway. Just do it. We all want to hear it.
I know. No, I can't. I will not give you the sound clip of me doing a very bad, because I have not perfected it yet. Ebony has, because we're talking an Australian accent to it.
Ebony, send Ebony the link. Send us.
Right, send me the link, Timmy. Come on, let's do this.
Come on, shrimp on the barbie.
No, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, but the movie itself. And I won't give spoilers, and you might be like, spoilers, it's a Little Mermaid. We know how this goes. They made enough changes to be surprised at the changes that they make. And I feel like
that's good to know.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those, I feel like this is how you're supposed to do a live action remake. Like, you do it and you keep the spirit of it. If there are people that are very nostalgic, I'm a Disney person. And The Little Mermaid is one that my brother hid the VHS from me because I kept playing it so much. Eventually, the tape broke. And I still have my cousin Aaron's from the 90s because his mom wrote Aaron William. I don't think he knows that I have it, but I felt like I stole it at some point. I'm like, how did I get this? But I love The Little Mermaid. And it is always in love, Tasha. We do. But the movie was incredible. Like, and I can't emphasize that enough. I don't think that it was a perfect movie. I'll say that Triton was not Tritoning enough. Like, Triton was supposed to be I needed more motivation from Triton and some of the things he was saying, but he was very reasonable, where I was just like, yeah, Ariel, you're kind of wilding out right now. Maybe you should listen to your father. And that's not what you're supposed to do. So that literally, to me, was the only weak area. Triton was just kind of dialing it in, but all of the changes they make, I feel like that's how you update a story. Like, Little Mermaid was released in 1989, and we view things differently then. Ariel's whole motive for going up to the human world and exploring a relationship with Prince Eric, they flipped that a bit. And at first I was like, why? But then when I realized why they made that decision, why they empowered Ariel in some ways, she still has her voice on land, but not traditionally. Like, it's very musical theater in the sense that we hear her thoughts, and they've put that in some songs. So there are new songs. Prince Eric gets a song, and I wanted to be a hater so bad. So motherfucking bad. I do not like Awkwafina as a person, which is wild because I've never met her. But I don't like the things I've seen about her. But damn it, if every project she's in, I'm just like, she's done it again. I love her work so much. As Scuttle, she was fucking funny. And I'm just like, I love Scuttle so much. Like, it's crazy. So Scuttle was great. I need people, and I feel like when people, sorry, and I'm gonna try to not talk too much, but I've been waiting for this. But like, I feel like people want to find a reason to complain. Oh, the movie is so dark. We were looking at the fucking under the water scenes where she was specifically in darker waters. That movie is so colorful. It's so vibrant. They found a way to bring in Caribbean culture in a way that makes sense. And you're just that's how we got the Jamaican crap. It all ties together now. And I'll say this because we talked about it last week with Prince Eric's mother being black. And we're like, oh, colorblind casting like 1997 Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. No, that nigga adopted. He's adopted. The queen is black. The nation is black. He's adopted. And I was like, huh. And but I thought that was brilliant.
Wow.
I thought that was brilliant. Yes.
Really cool.
So just the changes that they made make sense for 2023. Not trying to be woke, but let's take some of these threads that Disney didn't really care about and let's make them make more sense. And Lisa wants to know how to Flounder look. Ugly. Flounder looked ugly. But here's the thing. We're not going to pretend like Disney people don't love ugly, cute things. Motherfucking Hey from Moana. That chicken is ugly as fuck. But people love Hey, right? So it has like this ugly, cute thing. Flounder looked like a fish. Scuttle looked like a bird. It's not a seagull anymore. But yeah, he looks like a fish. And people are like, well, they could have animated. No. It would not have worked. They had to look in this fantasy world that they built. You still have to be realistic within those confines or in that universe that you've built. and it fit. I don't want cartoony looking characters when I'm trying to believe that I'm under the sea in Atlantica with the mermaids. So it works. And I think that all of the voice actors did what they're supposed to do because they were cute. Like I didn't care how Flounder looked. I didn't care. And if people are gonna like, oh, but the Flounder, stop it. You're looking for a reason to complain. Flounder was never the main character, bitch. Like it's not about Flounder. So it really doesn't matter. And like that was my biggest thing because I'm trying to enjoy it through the eyes of a child or whatever and just look at it. But then we critique things. That's what we do. So having like both of those kind of conversations going on in my head, and I'm also thinking, I'm not gonna cry. I done seen this girl perform at Disneyland. I've had my emotions. I cried 3 times.
Whoa!
I cried 3 times.
Damn.
And one of them was during Part of Your World, finally seeing it because I've avoided clips. I've avoided, I have avoided this because I want to experience it fresh. So seeing her in that moment do Part of Your World, cried again, the full realization that like, nah, this is Ariel and she's just not a version of Ariel. That's Ariel, period. Like, and I wish I had better words to describe what I mean like that. She's Ariel. When you, even the way, for me with Ariel as a kid, it was always her hair because in the water, her hair was doing those beautiful mermaid things. And even as a young Black girl whose hair could not do that under any circumstances, there's a lot of layers to just finding that beautiful and just like being like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Seeing Hallie's hair do that same shit. I didn't care about the shade of red, none of that. I didn't care that her tail wasn't all the way green. They put purple in there and that purple looked great against her skin. Everything made sense. Her sisters, all of it made sense. The other part where I cried was Max, and it's not a spoiler, but like, you know, when the ship is burning and then Prince Eric's is like, oh no, my dog. And like Max is in the water and he ain't gonna make it to the lifeboat. But you see that Ariel, oh my God, I'm gonna cry again. Ariel's under the water and she's like helping him along to get to the boat. And you're like, of course she is. Of course she is because she's a good ass person. She's just a good person. So like, it hits, it knows when to tie in the nostalgia. Like literally some of the shots were exactly pulled from the movie. Like you're like, this is from the animated movie. And they knew when to deviate from that and to give us something new. So, oh my God, I'm out of breath. But like, that movie was incredible. I can't wait to see it a million more times to see different things. Like, it was a I can't. And
wow.
All right.
That means a lot. Now, Tiffy, pardon me for asking, because the thing that you said that really resonated with me was that you said you went in there respectfully expecting to hate Awkwafina and you didn't. So did you go in there also with that same type of feeling for the movie itself, like Little Mermaid? Like, all right, man, what y'all gonna do to fuck? Like, I mean, we've all been anticipating this. We knew that as a Black mermaid, we were as Black people and people of color going to root for her regardless.
Right.
But was there a small part of you that was like, oh God, please don't suck, please don't suck? That was just happy that it didn't suck. That was even more gratified when it was better, you know what I'm saying? Because of our lower level of expectations.
Absolutely, 100%, because I wanted to be successful because I like Disney. I wanted to be successful because we've been fighting for Hallie. Can you imagine like if this movie sucked and we had to be like, okay, but Hallie wasn't the issue? Like, right. We can just be satisfied that they produce a good ass movie. And if this marks a change, I like the Disney live action remakes. And I acknowledge them that some of them aren't as good. So I'm not saying that all of them are great, but I don't have this blanket like, we don't need this. We don't need any movie. It's all entertainment. We don't need any of it. But yeah, if we can find a way to tell these stories in a new or better way, why wouldn't we? Some of these stories are great. And for people that are saying that Disney isn't coming out with new things, you're a fucking liar. You didn't even Google it. You don't even care. You're just saying that because you want to argue. Disney is able to consistently bring out new material and rework the classics. So that argument to me simply does not exist. But yeah, I wanted the movie to be successful. I wanted Hallie to do well, and it hit all of those marks, every single one of them. And Tasha, was Awkwafina a big part of it? No. Scuttle's part was about the same. There were maybe more, but it worked. Scuttle has a song with Sebastian that was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and you can hear that it was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. But they had the little bop, and you're like, oh, God! Like it works. They did their little rap or whatever. Was it necessary? Probably not. But that's okay. That's okay.
But we're here.
We here. That any critiques I have about the movie, they took out Le Poisson, like the chef with the thing. They took out things that didn't move the main story forward, and part of it is just like, oh, we don't get to see this, but we don't need it for the story. We're focused on this mermaid making poor life choices. So go
ahead, Ty.
I just got a question. Because I know you were speaking about Ursula. And you know, So how well did what's her name?
McCarthy.
Yeah, how well did she do as Ursula?
Nailed it. I know we wanted Queen Latifah, and I'm sure that Queen Latifah would have been amazing in that role as well. Really had that ready, but and Queen Latifah would have killed it. But Melissa, she was so good. I was like, what else is she in? Maybe I've been missing out on Missy. Speaking, she was amazing. She was amazing as Ursula. Point blank. Period. I have no complaints. No nothing. She was amazing as Ursula.
Wow, that's a relief, honestly, because I was frankly like a little distraught, and I like Melissa McCarthy. I used to watch her on that show with Mike and Molly with Billy Gardell. Not intentionally, it was one of them shows that came on after a show that you watched that you just didn't change the channel. You know, you're like, I guess I'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I loved her in what was it? The show with her, the movie with what was it? Bridesmaids. I thought that was like her coming out party. So I'm happy, but it wasn't that she was playing the role. It was that I know Melissa McCarthy as a comedic role. You know, I don't know her as a villain. You know, so I was more nervous that she wouldn't be able to pull off the villain vibes, less than she can take the role. But you're saying she killed it?
Absolutely, yeah. She killed it. No one, I'm telling you, no one except King Triton, who was just kind of like, my daughters, all of my daughters, you are here, Ariel. What have I done? And it's just like, if you don't like the part where he destroys her grotto, I'm like, yeah, like, that's what we wanted to see. But before, he would just kind of speak to her, and Ariel would swim off. I'm like, now you giving your daddy a little too much attitude, Miss Missy. Like, I shouldn't be on the side. He was not traumatizing his daughter enough to motivate her running away.
You ain't doing it right.
Okay. So all right, real quick, Omar. I'm assuming. All right. I hate to say it, but it sounds like Tiffy may have been the only one who got a chance to check it out. You did see it?
No.
Okay.
I'm dealing with the whole 12-year-old for this. I wasn't expecting.
Omar, I knew early Omar was not going to be able to see it, so he received a pass. I did not receive a text, a heads up, nothing from this. Is not how the House of Star Child operates.
Wow. Damn. Okay. All right. Well, we're learning how to jive. All right. My bad. I honestly, look, up until about 9 o'clock last night, I was still in hopes that I was going to see it. Like, I was like, look, I'm going to make it. Look, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I had to cancel my flight and get on another flight because I would have still been on the way over here if it wasn't because I was on JetBlue. JetBlue right now is notorious for having delays. So I had to leave that shit and go in this little bitty box ass Spirit spot where I'm sitting next to a dude who had like Make the Stallion thighs, and we had to share thigh space. You know what I'm saying? You ever had to share thigh space with somebody? You know what I'm saying?
TV space is not amused by yourself.
Because what you just revealed about yourself is that you understood that JetBlue is notorious for delaying flights. I'm not sure why you booked JetBlue in the first place. I love when niggas just talk themselves. It happens every single time.
Damn. That's why I give one more answers.
Oh, damn. She said, dig that hole. Dig that hole.
I'm pleading guilty.
I would hand you a shovel, but you brought your own.
I will take the sentence. So whatever that is, I'm down for it. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm extremely happy to hear that because honestly, when it comes to Disney content, I ain't gonna go to nobody but Tiffy for her opinion with regard to this. And the way she went off on that, there is Ariel. Goddamn it, point blank, period. The way she let motherfuckers know, like, look, get over it. Even the old Ariel likes the new Ariel. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you co-signing on it says a lot. And it does look like, for right now at least, after the first night, the overwhelming majority of folks that did see it are enjoying it because they tried to dislike bomb it when it first came out.
Yep.
They tried to they put 10,000 dislikes on the trailer as soon as it dropped and everything like that. And now I think folks is finally like, all right, damn, it is just a mermaid. So I'm more eager to see it today. And I will report back to the base at 0800. What's up, Ty?
Oh no, he's frozen.
Screenshot it.
I just had to hit him with the Dr.
That's the perfect screenshot.
I love it.
Wait,
hey, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you loved The Little Mermaid.
Nice.
That's what's up, man. Raise your hand.
Up, man.
Raise your hand if you like flat booty.
Raise your hand if you like when Vince pulls the car over to twerk in your face and asks you to tap it.
And looks back while they do it.
And looks back.
Raise your hand if you love it when Vince twerks in your face.
Yeah.
Let me stop. Yo, Ty, get that shit together, homeboy. Holler back at your boy. Report back to base at 0800. Yo, man. All right, so Tiffy, you are now saying, and just give it to us blood raw. Tell everybody on Twitch, tell everybody on YouTube, if you are or are not, I mean, we know the answer, but in your own words, recommending that folks run out and see this movie.
I am highly recommending that you go out and see The Little Mermaid. I think that if you are a fan of The Little Mermaid, or if you just like seeing movies in general, you will have a good time. It's beautiful. It does all the things it's supposed to do. So yes, I don't know why you're still watching this motherfucking stream when you should be booking movie tickets to go see the movie. Like, this is crazy to me, but yeah, you should go see the movie.
I mean, I know why. I mean, don't go nowhere. I mean,
I'm
like,
saying
no. We gotta go watch this fucking movie.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
The end of you and me. JoJo on him.
I need Austin to watch this because like I literally was like, babe, we gotta go watch Little Mermaid. And he goes, babe, it's literally the same fucking story. Like, why? It's just, she's just
why are you? Like, and that's the one thing about being partnered up. I don't understand. Go without him.
That's what I said. This is what I said to him. So this is what I said. I said, okay, well, I was like, I don't want to hear no complaints, no fucking bitching, nothing when my ass goes out without you. And he was like, okay, watch. I bet you as soon as I get back, I can't believe you went and watched that movie with me.
That's how it works.
I'm like, well,
I told you what was going to happen.
Real quick, Tiffy, since you have now aficionadoed a whole bunch of these Disney movies, with regard to how this one compares to other ones, with live action, we've got Aladdin right now. We've got Beauty and the Beast. Which one? What other one am I missing? There was another one that came out live action.
Cinderella, The Jungle Book. They've done a version of Pinocchio. They've done Lady and the Tramp. And some have gone to theater, and some have been lower budget and gone straight to streaming. So,
where do you rate this one?
Oh God, I put it at the top. I gotta put it at the top. And for me, Cinderella held that spot. I don't even like Cinderella's, and I'm not even talking. I'm talking Disney remakes of their versions of the story. So not the Roger and Hammerstein's Brandy Cinderella from 1997, but like the 1950 Cinderella. I think that that remake with Lily James, it's perfect. It's beautiful. It's given cottagecore all the things it's supposed to. It's a good retelling. But Little Mermaid, it's updated, it's fresh, it's beautiful. And then when you understand, like I said, the threads that weren't making sense too much in the original film and how they honored what was happening there, but made it make sense. Like it's good storytelling. It's just good fucking storytelling. So I would put Little Mermaid at the top over Aladdin. And despite the clip, Aladdin is my hands down favorite Disney movie, but I would put Little Mermaid over Aladdin as well. So like,
even when Aladdin was showing his ass,
come out.
I'm mad nobody talking about the live action version of Mulan. Like that was actually good.
That is true.
I was going to say really that was good.
Nobody speaks about it, but it actually was really
that was probably
I'm not gonna lie, Mulan was my like that was my Disney movie princess.
Yeah,
like, as a kid was Mulan straight up.
Yeah,
I have to re-watch it. I've seen the live action Mulan a couple of times, and for whatever reason, it's not sticking. Like Captain America Winter Soldier, I've seen it 5 times, and I cannot tell you anything about it.
Look at Omar.
My goddaughter hates that movie too. She literally was like, "This is so boring.
It's the best.
This is really a Marvel movie."
I don't, and it's not because I hate it. It's because literally. And Thor Dark World, something about it. I'm just there's a shadow that I'm just like, what happened?
They were pretty boring movies. They had a lot of boring story time.
I ain't gonna lie.
I love Thor. I love Thor, and I love Winter Soldier. Okay, but like, and I love Captain America. But I'm not gonna lie, like some of the storylines, what I'm saying, like they're not like it's like right.
Winter Soldier was espionage. Robert motherfucking Redford. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet.
I watched it. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I watched it. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like super captivating the whole time. It was just very, it was obviously we got to know about like how his backstory was, and like all that went into it. So yeah, that was interesting. But leading up to that point, I'm not gonna lie, I might have checked my phone a couple of times. But on Facebook.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Did you see when Black Widow jumped from the back seat to avoid being shot by Bucky, pushed Steve out the way to avoid the headshot, then kicked Sam to avoid the headshot? They're all headshots that went right into the headrest, and you're telling.
See, that sounds really cool. And I put your earphones back on.
I gotta get back. I can't hear it. I gotta get back. I can't hear it.
You can't even look.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Which y'all?
No, but I feel like I waited for him to put it back in. Because like he's describing that, and that sounds so cool. And I'm like, man, I want to see that, and I cannot for the life of me picture.
You need a movie buddy. Like someone be like, hey,
like, tell us what where to clip that part.
I stayed awake. I was awake during these movies. I've seen them. I've watched them. And what I'm saying is it's not sticking. Him describing that scene, I'm like, that sounds so cool.
I know. I don't remember it either.
How do I?
Listen, I have seen that movie a bunch of times. I do remember that Black Widow was a badass in that movie. I do remember that, and I do remember, like a lot of like certain things. But I don't remember her kicking. No, like
that kick was ridiculous.
Omar, since you're the movie man, I'm gonna need you to let me know what part of the movie, like time wise, I can go back because Cliffy and I are lost.
You don't YouTube that shit with a timestamp. That man is a psychopath. He will do it. Like don't.
When Bucky flipped the knife, he was fighting Steve and flipped the knife, caught it in this one. I'm like.
Yeah, look, I ain't gonna lie. As much as I want to join Omar on this journey to rectify y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Like it was Civil War for me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the Winter Soldier. It was Civil War. So I can't.
I mean, you're right. There's all that talking, and then they're separated, and then the bullshit. I feel you.
Look at the smoke coming from his afro right now. Like he is this movie.
Why are they talking to this bitch? Like,
no.
I pitched that you were
slowly killing him. This is how you do it, everybody. This is how to kill a nerd. It's just to talk bad.
When they Tony Stark, niggas.
What you mean you don't like Winter?
That's my favorite. I think it's my favorite trilogy. Which is wild, but it's a hard.
Yeah. I think right now, Guardians. Go ahead.
I got a quick question before we get out of here. Now, do you think because of Fast 10 dropping that the Little Mermaid will not be as successful because it's contending with that right now?
Potentially, because so many, like, okay, so I had a coworker the other day, and I was like, "What the fuck are they doing out with another fucking Fast movie?" I was like, and this is the beginning of a trilogy too. I don't even remember the last movie I stopped watching, to be honest with you. Like, but some people are really hardcore into that shit, and some people are just like, "Fuck that shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's kind of like there's an in between crowd with the Fast and Furious movies. It's kind of weird. Like my coworker, she's like 20 years old. She was like, "Bro, I'm gonna be in that bitch, Toretto all day, family all day." And I was like, "Okay, calm down, little girl." Like the fuck, I was just like laughing so hard. And then the next day, she was like, "I went and watched it. Yes, it was so good. You should see it."
I'm
It
with
was.
her.
It was.
I'm family forever. I still have to see Fast 10, but he could come up with 52 more, and I'm gonna see him.
Well, look, I tell you what. If anybody has any time, maybe we could discuss this on the other end. Not too long. I don't got too much time, but just a little bit.
I'm here. Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to discuss some of these off-brand projects that we like, and I think we've just learned one of them from Omar. But I think Captain Winter Soldier was like as a top-rated movie. I think that y'all are underrating it. I mean, favorite? No. Top 5, maybe not, but still, it's
in the top 20.
Top 100 somewhere in there, you know, between this and you know, I don't know, Howard the Duck.
It's
original,
before the first Guardians movie, or the second Guardians movie. That makes anything better.
Slap me in the face. Okay.
Let's go ahead and wrap up side A of this cassette tape, man, and let's get on to side B on the other side of this. Thank you so much, Tiffy, for pulling up for this. Thank you so much, Omar, as well. But we ain't going nowhere. We're going to come back. We're going to join the YouTube and the Twitch in a little bit. But for right now, y'all, make sure you are. Oh, yeah, and go check out The Little Mermaid and go follow DJ Dimple _BK. Pull up to the Sailor Boom Boom. Sailor Boom Boom.
That's a great nickname.
Be your authentic self, because if you ain't being yourself, then you being fake, and ain't no glory or honor in that. And in all things, if you a geek, go ahead, say, let that geek flag fly.
Let that geek blah blah.